The PGA Tour season continued last weekend at the Humana Challenge in California, where the field included one of the game's rising stars, Billy Horschel. Billy produced a spectacular finish to last season's PGA Tour playoffs, at 28 becoming the youngest ever winner of the $10 million FedEx Cup. We caught up with him at La Quinta ahead of his opening round to find out how his life has now changed.
It's really nice that every tournament I go to, I'm getting a little more publicity, and the tournament is letting the area know that I am playing, and that's it comes with the territory. That's always a great thing to have. You get recognized a little bit more, but I'm still just trying to be myself and be the person I was raised to be, and hopefully the golf keeps improving and I keep getting better as a golfer.
Despite writing his name into the PGA Tour record books, Horschel is clearly keen to raise the bar. Having had a taste of what it's like to beat the best players in the world over a short stretch of tournaments, the aim now is to do that on a more regular basis.
Yeah, I would love to be a little more consistent, but I think for me to be a more consistent player, I think my short game really needed to improve. And I've worked really hard in the off-season with the technique, and feeling comfortable with a technique that I can repeat. That becomes a little bit easier for me. Just trying to make sure we're working on the right things to improve my game, and hopefully with working those right things, they show up and carry over to the course. And just like last year, they may not showed up in the first 2/3 of the year, but they showed up at the end of the year what we had worked on, and just hopefully this year they show up a little bit sooner.
Billy certainly found his form in the playoffs. After bogeying the 72nd hole to finish second at the Deutsche Bank Championship, he bounced back to win the next week at the BMW. It all came down to the Tour Championship at Eastlake, where Horschel held off Jim Furyk and Rory McIlroy to win the FedEx Cup.
It was an unbelievable few weeks there, and we go up against some really great players. The lead going into each going into the final round of two of the FedEx Cup playoffs, and to close out the victories and get the FedEx Cup. I mean, all it does is adds confidence. So whenever you get in those positions again, or you're struggling a little bit, you can look at that saying, hey, I've been to the highest peak, and there's no reason why I can't keep on climbing.
What's even more impressive about Billy's performance at the Tour Championship is that wife Brittany was heavily pregnant with their first child at the time. Billy managed to maintain his focus on the course, and Skylar Lillian Horschel was born just 2 days after her father's FedEx success.
I love being a dad. It's a great experience. It's something I've been looking forward to for a while, and I think I've sort of grown as a person, and hopefully with me growing as a person carries over my game, and I become a little bit more patient and a little bit more relaxed on the golf course, and enjoy myself out there.
2014 was an historic year on the PGA Tour. For the first time since 1992, neither Tiger Woods nor Phil Mickelson won a tournament. In fact, they only combined for one top 10 finish. It may now be time for the next generation of US talent to shine.
Now you're seeing that there's a lot of great young players out here with Jordan Spieth, with Ricky Fowler, Patrick Reed, myself, and there's plenty of really good young Americans and fresh-faced Americans that can carry this game and carry the load that Tiger and Phil have set before us.
After his fairy tale finish to last season, subsequent big jump in the world rankings, and despite missing out on the Ryder Cup at Gleneagles, Billy Horschel is aiming high in terms of goal setting for the 2015 season and beyond, with major ambitions right at the top of his list.
I want to get my first major this year. I would love to defend the FedEx Cup, be the first guy to ever do that. And hopefully if I can play well for 6-8 months, like I did sort of at the end of the year, which is obviously a far feat to ask for, but maybe I can get that #1 player in the world, or at least get close, where then in 2016 I have a chance to get there. So, there's several goals, but it all just comes down to making sure you're working hard and doing the right things.